It's fine. Okay, welcome to Moms Living the Dream Life, how to raise a happy family while building the business of your dreams. My name is Sophia Macros and I'm the host. And I am interviewing 21 amazing mompreneurs that are showing us and sharing with us their journey of how they're making it possible and how they're creating their dream life. And today I am so excited because I have with me the amazing Luci Lampe. Is a mom of four, coach, author of Achieving Sexy, the Sexy Mama Manifesto, and the Sexy Mama Morning, and founder of the Sexy Mama Movement and co-founder of Ruthlessly Committed. She helps moms create powerful marriages and inspired businesses. Her work has been featured on the Huffington Post, Forbes, Entrepreneur.com, CBS, and Fox. And Luci, I hope I said your last name correctly again.
You did. You nailed it.
I'm so excited you are here today with me, and I'm sure you're going to provide so much value to all these moms out there.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and meet you and be a part of this.
Thanks, Luci. Thank you so much. We are also. So, Luci, I want you to share with us, and just a parenthesis, that's a beautiful view we got there. I love the fact that you're outdoors. Okay.
Well, you get the backwards view. Actually, I should turn this way so you get a better view. Because you don't want to see all these cars. There we go. Okay, how's that?
Beautiful. Moms are,
that better?
Yes, that's a beautiful view. Beautiful, yes.
Living the dream.
Exactly. So, Luci, do you want to share with us how it all began? Like
Yes.
Where your journey, your entrepreneurship, mompreneurship began?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's a great question. Oh my goodness. So I've been on several different entrepreneurial paths throughout the years. But with the Sexy Mama movement in particular, that started almost 4 years ago. And it was after our third daughter was born, and I felt anything but sexy. I felt like overwhelmed. I thought, because we had 2 kids, I totally got this parenting thing nailed. But alas, I did not. Each kid is different. She would get so angry. She would turn purple. Like she had a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. And she's a sweetheart now, but she's almost 4. But I just remember feeling like, oh my God, I have nothing figured out, and this is so fucking hard, and I cannot. It was crazy. And so I thought, there's got to be something. First of all, I wanted to transition from doing my business offline with coaching and training and fitness and bring it online. So it started really from this desire to empower women, specifically moms, because they were the ones who ended up being my clients. And also to have more time for my family, because we also knew we wanted to have another kid, which he was born 14 months later. Oh. And it was a tough transition between starting a brand new business, figuring out all the online stuff, like the email sequences and the funnels and the landing pages. That just about did it for me.
Exactly. Same here.
Yeah. And then going back to diapers and breastfeeding and all that after both of my older kids were in school. So it was an interesting start. Over time, it expanded into a podcast and a blog and a YouTube channel, and this book that was brewing in me that wasn't birthed for 2 years until 2 years later on in the journey. But it was, it's just one of those things that you can't expect or foresee what it's going to become at the very beginning. I just knew that in my heart, this is where the voice was guiding me to. And so I followed that, and I just kept plugging away.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that was a start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for saying yes to your dreams, and thank you for saying yes to that desire, because that is the basic reason I'm putting this interview series together. It's because I want to empower moms to say yes to their dreams, that burning desire that, they don't just have to be a mom. There's more to them. They have something inside of them. And as you say, your book, that you write books, and that's amazing. Thank you for saying yes, because you're empowering and you're inspiring so many moms out there that need it. So while you were transitioning, because I did have an issue also with transitioning into motherhood, actually I had, because I was always like that free spirit, following my heart, doing everything like whatever I wanted. I was independent. And all of a sudden, like I was a mom. And like after 6 months, the first 6 months was awesome, but after 6 months, it was really difficult because I had to depend on other people. I moved to an island, which We didn't have cars, so I couldn't drive my motorbike with the baby. So there were many things going on. So that started, I was putting everyone else's needs first. I wasn't putting my needs, and it all went to depression. So anyway, so while you were transitioning to all of this, what were the fears, if any, that you, or obstacles that you came across, and how did you overcome that?
So there have been many obstacles. I mean, they're from the logistics to just where do I want to take this next, to when do I onboard more help and support and team members. But by far the biggest challenge throughout this 4-year journey has been my husband. Has been his his injury and his all this stuff, that all the pain in his body that he continues to deal with. So that definitely put the biggest wrench in things, because I felt on the outside he would be supportive, like, okay, I'll take care of the kids while you go do this thing, or while you go and work. But I didn't really feel the support. I felt, actually, this is really interesting, because in the coaching group with my mamas, this week was our break week, where we just take a step back and reassess what it is that we want to create in the next 12 weeks, because we use the 12-week year cycle format. And so what I realized, some big things about myself. So I love to be super current with people and share what's happening right now. So basically, any challenge that I've ever had, usually it comes down to some kind of story that I'm telling myself. Like, oh, this is too hard, I can't do this. Yeah. Or he's an asshole, or this will never change, or whatever. But it's always a story which drives, or that belief that inspires the emotion and then the action. So the tough thing about this was that this week I uncovered even some more beliefs, some more stories, and one of them, super huge, and it's about that. I realized that deep down, even if this is like 1%, I still had this belief that he wants my business to fail, so that I will need him. I was like, oh shit, this is huge, because I opened up and shared that with my mamas in our coaching group, and they were like, me too. Every single one of them were like, that's me too. And anyway, it's crazy, because the more we do the work in ourselves, the more we can lead our clients and our tribes to go through that same process. So that was a big thing. A big challenge was not feeling supported. Hearing the words, I support you, but not really feeling it in the heart. And that was my number one challenge. And in the midst of raising 4 kids, and also kind of a husband, because he was in his depression for 2 years, that was, by far the biggest challenge that we've had as a family, in my business, and just in life. So I don't know if that really answers the question, but
yes, it's very powerful what you said, and I understand totally the part of feeling not supported, even though the words come out of their mouth, but deep inside, that energy you get is not the support. That they could do more than what they are doing, even though they're saying, I'm supporting you. And what you said, I never thought about that story about, I want your business to fail because I want you to need me. That fear of their wives going further than what they are going. Yeah. Times, like, I saw that in my husband also. And my husband, when he wouldn't support me because he didn't know what I was doing. Because the coaching business is something new in Greece.
Yeah.
And when he came to this 3-day event that my coach put together, and that's where he saw the love. That's where he saw that people cared. That's where he cried.
There's a beetle. There's a beetle. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. Continue. You're fine. That's funny. Real life.
Please continue.
Real life, girl.
This is real life.
So that's when he understood, and that's where I got the support. And he's like, I want you to do what you want to do. I want you to, because I see that you are happy and that you give us more love when you're happy and when you're meeting your needs. So the best way, have you overcome this? Have you communicated this with him?
So this is the really juicy part. This is the really juicy part, because it was actually a similar experience where my coach, I remember calling him in tears and saying, I don't know what to do. I feel like every time I'm around Ryan, my husband, Like my light is dimmed, my energy is like whoop, and then everything changes, and I just cannot, I can't do it that way anymore. And I remember he invited him to support him as part of his team at the next coaching training event, and that is what started to shift things for Ryan as far as seeing the power of coaching and the possibility. And that's why he's doing coaching now.
Exactly. That's
But,
what I was going to ask you.
yeah, but what's interesting about this story that I had is that it was actually a big projection myself.
Okay,
and yesterday we were talking about how the way our marriage started. I don't know if you've read the Sexy Mama Manifesto or if you know about this, but
No.
you haven't. Okay, so this was my big secret for almost 10 years, 9.5 years, that I supposedly got pregnant on accident 3 months into our marriage, but it wasn't. I took it upon myself to stop taking my pills because I was so, like, all my decisions were so based in fear and scarcity. He was a crazy motherfucker. He was doing crazy, reckless stuff. He wanted to go do like missions and gunfire third world countries and take me there. And in my head was, oh my God, this isn't safe. I don't want this. I don't want him to succeed in his dreams. So I made this decision that I put all this stock in that would change his decision to want to do those dreams. So I was the untrustworthy one. I was the one that lied. I was the one that deceived him. And then all these years, because we've been married for 12 years this fall, I had so much, there was a wall. Like I couldn't fully trust him because I couldn't trust myself. And I'm untrustworthy, And so it's interesting because the more we get into all this coaching processes and lingo and insights, the deeper we can see into ourselves, what's really been holding us back, and just our connection with ourselves first, because that's really where it all has to begin. And then what's keeping me from connecting with you? If I'm not connecting with you, there's something in the way, and it's me. Exactly. So that was huge for me to see.
Yeah,
I know it's very deep. It might just be like, woo.
That is deep, and I think I'm going to be thinking about this all night and trying to figure out more deep in me, because I do go deep, and I always ask myself, if I get pissed off at my husband, I always ask, okay, why did you get pissed off, Sophia? Is there something wrong? Like, what is going on in your head? What is it? What's the real reason to this? And that's wow. That's a moment you just said.
It's a big one, because if we live with this way of thinking that we are 100% responsible for our triggers, it gives us so much power. I've heard some moms say like, but it's such a burden. I'm doing all the work and he's not doing the work at home and in myself. But if you think of it as, I have so much power, it's not a burden. It's possibilities. So anyway, it's mind blowing.
That's what my coach had told me also when I wasn't feeling really well. And he's like, Sophia, you have to take responsibility for everything that's going around you. It might seem very like heavyweight, but that's the only way. And I sat and thought that's why I wasn't depressed before I got married, because I was taking control of my life. And then all of a sudden when I became a mom, I expected from everyone else to do and help me, and the victim, that victim.
Yes, the victim mentality.
Yeah.
Yep, I am very familiar with that.
So that's when it all started, going downward. So Sophia, you're powerful, and that affirmations. And when you start thinking about your best, the day you were so powerful, the moment you were so powerful, just, keep in sight that most powerful time of your life and just connect that with motherhood and relationship. And what you're talking, your story is so powerful because you are still, what I love about it actually is that you are still connected, and you're still working on your marriage, because there's so many marriages that separate for the only reason because there's no support and there's no communication and there's no going deep inside. It's like a give up.
Yeah. It's just blaming and projection and you, and no responsibility.
But there's
so much I believe is why it fails.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. But there's
no, I think love.
There's so much love and communicate that. And it's like selfish and egoistic. So, I know, are you going to do the relationship talk that you had on Facebook, I think with your husband, that it was like a relationship talk? Are you going to do that this year?
Yeah.
That was
So we are actually, these are some things that are happening. So just this week, again, in this in between reassessing, taking a step back, another thing I realized is how attached and how much of my identity I put in the Sexy Mama movement. Because, you know, when your blood, sweat, and tears and everything go into something, I just could not imagine myself ever not having this business and not, you know, blowing it up to like Oprah size for moms, Tony Robbins conferences for moms. And I still intend to do that. And it doesn't define me. And the Beetle is back. Oh my God. I can hear it, but I can't see it. It's like a horror movie. Oh my God. I hope it doesn't come back. Those things freak me out. They're blind and they just run into things. Anyway, so I realized how attached I was to that. And that was keeping me from focusing on the thing, 10xing the thing, literally the thing that is being most impacted in these moms, and that is their marriage. So Ryan and I started the Ruthlessly Committed Facebook show one season earlier this year.
Yeah.
And we took a break for the summer to just kind of chill and be with the family. And this is the big thing that's happening. We are going to move forward with building this brand, start the show up again soon. We're going to have our first couples transformational event in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm focusing on the Ruthlessly Committed Women's Coaching Group. Beautiful. Instead of just the entrepreneurial mom and tackling business and everything, because it's a huge pain. It's a huge challenge. And if that one thing isn't working in their lives, I know, because I've experienced that. And if it's not working for me, everything else suffers. My business, I'm distracted. I'm weighed down when I'm with my kids. I can't quite connect to source or God the way that I, as easily. There's all this, shit in the way. Exactly. And so, yeah. So Beautiful. So it's happening.
It's the core. A family is a business. If you work your family as a business, then you could do so many powerful things, right? That's neat. Wow. Yep. Okay. So, all right about that. That's awesome. I love what you.
There's so much there.
Yes. So I know how powerful your mornings are and how you teach, your morning routine. So I'm pretty sure that's your me time. That's your self-care time. So how much does that help you be there for your family and for your business?
That's a great question. It has been absolutely indispensable. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while I'll test it out and think, well, maybe I'm okay without it. I don't know. Let's find out. And then I'll do a couple days and oh my God, everybody in our house can feel it. Everybody can tell the difference. It's like, mommy didn't meditate and do her stuff this morning. I didn't get my note, mommy. Where's my love note? So, So in this morning routine, we tie in the 4 areas that we consider the 4 S's. So we have our source that, for me, it's the meditation, reflection, journaling, and then self. So exercise, nutrition, things like that. And then is our social is family, marriage, and kids. And then sustenance, which is our business. So the idea is to have some of all of those elements in the morning. So then you're ready to go. Like it's really starting the day with intention in a powerful way. Some days like today, I was so tired today. I've been dealing with a sinus infection that I just got up. I did a little bit of like stretching and yoga, and I did my 20 minutes of meditation, and I went back to bed.
At least you got it done.
I went back to bed, but I didn't get my other 2 pieces done. So, but there's flexibility and space for grace in life.
Exactly. And do you manage to get up before everyone else gets up? So for that morning?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So the toddlers, if they get out of bed at like 7, I get up at 5 or 5:30. Exactly. It doesn't have to take that long, but that's how long I like to have for myself.
Is there like an early night bed? Like, do they go to bed early at night, or is it late night?
I guess. Well, okay. The big kids versus the little kids. The big kids have been going to bed pretty late, but the little kids the toddlers go to bed by 7:30 or 8.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Okay. Reasonable. We need our like quiet time with no screaming toddlers asking for peanut butter.
Yeah, I've been struggling with that summertime. So peanut butter.
It is tough.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, do you plan date nights with your husband?
Yes, every week.
Every week. That's
every
awesome.
week. We went many years without having any date nights.
Oh. How
But
was
here's
that?
the thing. It wasn't very good. But the thing is that the lack of the date night was just a reflection of what wasn't working, like us not prioritizing each other. And it's not that it had to be away from the house, but even just taking that time, like, okay, during this time, we're not just going to do dishes and catch up on Facebook and clean the house. We're actually going to be together. And so for us, it's not really so important what we're doing. If we're just walking around here, like last night, or if we go to our favorite Vietnamese restaurant, or we walk around at SeaWorld and ride roller coasters, it doesn't matter. It's more the connection, because otherwise the activity is a distraction from the lack of connection. So that's really the hard thing. That's the challenging part, is maintaining the connection on outside of the date night, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yes. That's, and the thing that helps me is I always try to remember how it was, like, because I'm married 10 years, how it was before we got married, before we had kids, and try to connect to Sophia. Yeah. And try to connect, how we were then and how we felt and how we talked to each other. So
yeah,
when I, get off the road and it starts getting like really hard, just get back on the road and, connect again and remember those good times, which, kids are going to leave sometime and it's going to be us again. So we have to maintain that nice, connection. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does Lucy's day look like? Like when you begin with what's the connection with the children? Like how, your day, just give us some of your
a typical non-average day.
Typical Lucy's
well,
day.
they say that every day doesn't have to be extraordinary, but if your average days become something that you actually enjoy, like that's living the dream, So that's taking a lot of tweaking. So where I'm at right now with that is I start my day off doing my stuff in the morning, or not. Like this morning I'll do half of it. It happens, but for the most part, so I'll start with that, and then I'll have breakfast with the kids. I try not to even respond to emails unless I'm in that 15 minutes of work or sustenance, or I've carved out extra time early morning to do that. Because one of my biggest struggles as a mom entrepreneur over the years has been being present and being all in wherever I'm at. And no surprise, that showed up in everything in my life. Like I'm not, committed. I'm trying to write a text while I'm, responding to my kids, and it doesn't work for me. Yeah, if we multitask, everything suffers. There's no one thing that works well. So, so we have our breakfast time. I'll drink my coffee. Ryan will make his coffee. The kids will go to school when they're in school, and then usually, right now they're not in school. So it's all four of them. But usually the mornings, the majority of mornings, let's say except for maybe one morning a week, I'll spend with the kids. So I'll take the toddlers out while the big kids are in school, go to the zoo or something, the playground, the beach, and then I'll work late morning when they go down for their nap, and for a few hours, like 3 to 4 hours. And then by that time the kids are out of school, everybody's back, and basically it's just family time at that point.
So it's basically a few hours a day that you work, and then the rest is family, regular family schedule.
Exactly. So it takes a lot of intention, a lot of planning. Otherwise I'll get to that work time and I sit down and I'm like, what do I do? And I could easily waste all that time figuring out what to do. So on Sundays, I always plan it out. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's what I wanted to ask you. If you plan ahead everything.
Oh yeah, totally.
Your business. Do you plan ahead also like the food, like the cooking, the meals, or is that just free?
Kind of. I mean, I just keep staple ingredients in the fridge. Like we always have kale. You should hear my kids bitch about how much kale they eat. I'm like, are we gonna have kale again? I'm like, yeah, it's easy, you guys. I'm not a chef, okay? Onions and kale, some kind of meat and some kind of carbs. That's pretty much what we have at dinner. And it's simple. Oatmeal for breakfast. I just keep it simple. It's not super exciting, but it gets everybody fed.
Yeah, sometimes, things have to bleed, as they say. Sometimes things, at least you get your vegetables, or at least, once in a while, you're fine. We're building a business now. We got to, create the life, do this whole thing. So,
I think meal deliveries would be great eventually, but for 6 of us,
yes,
that's a lot of meals.
I'm just trying to figure out also, because I do, but I've noticed that whenever I plan ahead, even my food, like the menu that's going to be given out, like it's so much easier. I like have so much
Yes.
time to have more fun with my family
Yeah.
or do stuff.
One less decision to have to take care of.
Yeah, because as you said before, like if you don't know what you can do in your business before, like you're going to waste your 4 hours just trying to figure out what to do, and it's not going to be productive
Yes.
either. So
Right. And then it's frustrating at the end. We feel
yes.
ashamed of like, oh my God, I don't have my shit together.
Yes. Yes. So that's awesome. So I do advise also to plan ahead and like if you can't do it like day like if you can't do it monthly, actually do at least weekly, you know, like every Sunday.
Yes.
You said get the most out
Yeah.
of it, out of the way, and then, you know, just stick some things in between.
Yeah. Those little, the
Awesome.
sand and the pebbles, that whole thinking, the big
Oh,
rocks. And
yes.
then this,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Say, yeah, I like that.
Because that's like you stick the big, because you could just fill a whole jar up with just sand, and that's like emails and urgent tasks and things that people put on your plate all the time. Instead of putting the big rocks first, like, okay, every week I'm going to take this time just for myself. I'm going to take this block of time to work on that one big project or write my book or whatever it is. And then all the other stuff, like the pebbles, the kind, not as big things, but those little stuff that still needs to happen, and then the other things will just fill in the cracks.
Exactly. That's beautiful.
And they'll just happen. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But
So,
intention.
Lucy, that's awesome. Awesome. Is there like, what is the advice you would love to share with the moms that want to take that next step forward? They have that burning desire to share and do more than just be a mom at home. They but they're in fear, or they believe they don't have the support, or those stories that go around in their head saying that what are they going to do? They're just moms. Like, I'm a mom. What is your advice to those women?
I think the most powerful advice I could give, and that I do give to the moms, is there's so many things, but it really boils down to this one thing. If you get this one thing, you cannot be steered wrong. And it's to tune into what that voice, the other people say, the still small voice, or God, or the universe, whatever that is. I think we are one with that voice. And not the voice in our head, not the critical voice of like, you suck, who are you to do this? Like, you're not ready. Oh my gosh, no, it's going to fail. Not that voice, the voice in your heart, that gut feeling. And if we tune into that and we follow that, it will usually lead us to do some crazy stuff that doesn't logically make sense, but it pays off. And I know that when I don't follow that voice, I feel guilty for not having had the courage or the guts to do something, because it is going to be scary. But if you listen to that, that's your integrity, and you stay in integrity with yourself, you're going to create some really powerful things that you could never even have imagined you could create.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So I guess, yeah, moms can't live their dream life. They can't create it. They can do it. Awesome.
Can do it.
And you got 4 kids, so you're making it happen. So
we're making it happen.
Awesome, Lucy. So where can the moms find you? On your website? Would you like to share that? And is there something you want to gift the moms?
Yes.
We didn't talk about that before, but if you want.
Yes, I do.
Beautiful.
I do. I absolutely do. So the website is sexymamamovement.com. And I am giving the free guide, the free video series.
Beautiful.
To living a sexy mom life. And that's
awesome.
Basically implementing those big principles that we live by in our culture.
Awesome. Sexy mama. Yeah. I guess our husbands will love that too, because when we feel sexy, I think
that's right.
Right. So I guess that's where you can get the support. You get more support when when you're feeling sexy. So you're treating him
bring
better.
that to him.
Awesome. Lucy, thank you so much for your time. That was amazing. And thanks for your share, your vulnerable story, and keep inspiring. And I cannot wait to see what your huge sexy mama movement, how big it's going to be.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me here, and for everyone watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Lucy. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.